We have Empire versus Bretonia. A pretty classic matchup, but a little different here as Mr. Teufel is taking the Knights of the Black Rose and Elspeth von Draken versus Castax, Fey Enchantress, Enri, and Paladin combo with a bunch of basic knights. They got a bunch of basic knights.
These helpless fools will soon cower.
For Elspeth, we do have her Pale Scythe, Living Darkness, Arcane Conduit, then Spirit Leech, Fate of Buna, Darkwalker, and Death's Timekeeper. So she is very much kitted out. Empire Knights and Knights of the Black Rose. Knights of the Black Rose do have a shockingly high 50 melee defense, compared to their Bretonian counterparts' 28. 2 war wagons, some halberdiers, and some spearmen are the rest of the Empire build. For the Bretonians, we have a men-at-arms front line with some peasant mobs, some peasant bowmen with fire arrows to reduce healing if the Empire opted for that sort of thing, and then a bunch of Knights Errant and Knights of the Realm. I swear there was the Knights of the Lion-Hearted ROR. There they are. And then we have the Fey Enchantress, Double Paladin, though one of the Paladins is Enri for armor piercing. Cool. Fey Enchantress did bring her new and improved Dwellers Below. Could do a lot of damage to Knights of the Black Rose. And we're off. War Wagons getting what they can right now, just using a bit of ammo on the peasant front line. Not a big deal. Bretonia's not going to care too much about that. Bretonia's archers are firing away. Pretty good damage to state troops off the bat. But there are more state troops than the Bretonian peasants, so some of the halberdiers are already slipping through the front lines. What can the Bretonian cav do? Looks like they are going to take a fight with the Empire Knight. Knights of the Realm charging over. They seem rather confused about what way they want to go, but they eventually do pick this cluster of Empire Knights. Knights Lionhearted also fighting Empire Knights over there. On the far side, Knights of the Black Rose are teeing off with Knights of the Realm. Knights of the Black Rose are more expensive and better. And Elspeth starts Spirit Leeching the Paladin, that's fine, he doesn't have spell resistance. The Fey Enchantress has pretty insane spell resistance. I think it's like legitimately 60 or 70%. 60%, and then 15% ward save, so you should almost never Spirit Leech her. As she uses her Bound Comet, the Chalice of Potions, to kill off a whole halberdier. Damn, son. Empire Knights slowly losing to the Knights of the Realm. The Empire frontline is not having a great time versus the Bretonian one. Knights of the Black Rose are trading rather effectively versus their Bretonian counterparts. That is the first thing really going well for the Empire. The Fey Enchantress coming over. The War Wagons are even getting a flank off, but the Fey Enchantress throws down Dwellers Below to catch some Knights of Black Rose, but also her own losing Knights of the Realm. She sacrifices them to the Lady. And this is the new and improved Dweller, so it does do a lot more damage as it just shreds through the Knights of the Black Rose. These other Knights of the Black Rose also getting caught in the Dwellers a little bit. They're taking some damage, not as much as their counterparts, but yeah. Spirit Leech on the Fey Enchantress is going to do very, very little damage, but she takes a fight with Elspeth, and Elspeth is a better melee combatant, so it looks like the Fey is going to back off quickly after that. And still, this fight's going fine for the Empire. Frontline Bretonia is slowly winning it. On the top side, Bretonia is beating up on these guys, though some halberdiers of the Empire have joined the fight, so Bretonia is not going to want to stay in that for too much longer. Bretonia's ahead on the balance of power, and I would definitely agree. Something terrible happened to Enri Lamassif, though. I have no idea how he's taking this much damage, but he has. Elspeth's trying to opt out of here. Is going to get attacked by both Paladins while the Fey Enchantress escapes. Now her only healing is Earthblood. It's not like Regrowth where she can instantly save herself. It will take some time. Archers are poking down the War Wagons as some Spearmen have gotten here, but it's mostly the Archers doing the damage and the War Wagons are going to rout. Haven't lost any of their models so far. Just routing. Knights of the Black Rose still fighting back against the Knights Errant. Forever and ever, but that 51 melee defense, ooh, fancy, because they got a Chevron. 51 melee defense is really strong versus the Knights Errant, only 26 melee attack. Bretonia pulling further ahead on the balance of power. The Paladins are keeping Elspeth honest. Can the Empire get some cav in the backline, take out all these archers of Bretonia? That would go a long way in evening up the balance of power, but also just saving your state troops from the constant peasant fire that they've been dealing with all game long. Knights the Lionhearted walking past the Fey Enchantress, saluting her as they go on their way to battle with Knights of the Black Rose, who are currently held up on a single Paladin. They'll have a tough time killing them all, but he's mostly just holding them in place for the archers to fire. Elspeth's wandering around trying to find her home at the moment. She is going to pop a Fate of Buna onto the Knights of Lionhearted, who are charging straight into battle right now. They have no spell resist, no... hell's that? A Dwellers Below miscast on the Fey Enchantress herself. That's a bit of a whoopsie. But anyway, the Fate of Buna kills off the Knights of Lionhearted. They die to the last man, as some Knights of the Realm do manage to catch up the War Wagons. Still 4 out of 4 models for the War Wagons. Still 100% damage capacity. We'll see if any of them actually get taken out by the Knights of Bretonnia. And archers are also lending aid. Empire's coming back a bit on the balance of power. Looks like some Empire Knights did catch out the Fey Enchantress, so getting good work done onto her. With her extremely low armor, no physical resistance, and low melee defense, she can't take a lot of damage. Death's Timekeeper sapping her down as well, as she routs. Not gonna die. 200 HP left. Archers for Bretonnia still firing as they have been all game long. Just trying to stay in it. Knights of the Black Rose desperately fighting against Knights of the Realm in the distance. More Knights of the Black Rose routing off some of the Bretonian cav. And Elspeth is trying to save herself by Spirit Leeching down the Paladin and then running away through her own spears. It's semi-effective. The Fae, will you rally with 200 HP? -5 leadership for now. Maybe. Damage sustained is a natural 80, but that might come down. War Wagons trying to peel. As Elspeth runs straight into the Knights of the Black Rose, and then Empire Knights come up behind her, really sandwiching the Paladin. He's not going anywhere, and Elspeth will get to safety. Fey Enchantress down to -3. +1. She's back, baby! Can she Earthblood herself or heal in any capacity to stay in this game as the Empire is all of a sudden pulled ahead? Knights of the Black Rose did get to some of the archers. Some of the other archers are just routing away from state troops, and they'd have very little ammunition to speak of. Another Spirit Leech is out onto the Paladin. And they're getting ramped up because of her spell mastery, right? Yeah, she's at 100% intensity for the Pale Scythe. So her spell mastery is 60% and her spell resistance is 20. Knights of the Realm still trying to chase around the War Wagons. These guys are down to 2 War Wagons, so half their damage capacity. They will kite out the Knights of the Realm, get caught a bit on the charge, and then all of a sudden just kind of stop. And then they decide to leave the War Wagons alone. Fey Enchantress routs again for no real reason, and rallies again for also no real reason. The archers are here. The other War Wagon is down to 3 models. Elspeth is very, very low. Bretonnia is dangerously down on the balance of power. Henry Lamassif must have died somewhere off screen. The Paladin we saw die. In comes a Chalice of Potions prediction from the Fey Enchantress, but Elspeth just dies? She had so much HP, what the fuck? That doesn't seem right. She had like 1,600 HP left, and a single overcast just fucking kills her. Fey Enchantress throws out a heal for her peasant bowman, not for herself, and the Chalice of Potions, while it was trying to be predictive, it wasn't predictive enough, and does just miss the halberdiers. The Fey Enchantress dies as Elspeth dies, so both sides taking a big leadership hit. The War Wagon's down to 2 models, still taking poke from the archers, but they are going to fire downhill into these guys. Halberdiers chasing around all these other units, and there's still a Knights of the Black Rose with enough health not to rout as soon as Elspeth died. And without that, I mean, Bretonnia just doesn't have the leadership bars to stay in this. The balance of power is super fraudulent because all these guys are about to break, and then it's going to be over. That was actually a crazy death from Elspeth. We might have to check that out again. Instant replay. Alright, so let's see it. Elspeth. Oh, I suppose she only has 600 HP. That's not nearly as bad. I thought, like, she had more, but I guess she is just a horse caster. Oh, she only has 2,900 hit points total? Wow, that is squishy. Okay, yeah, that's not nearly as insane. I mean, it's still really funny that Overcast just straight up deleted her. But it's not, like, crazy. She has such a low HP pool. Alright, what do we got? Mr. Joyful. 2,000 on Elspeth. Knights of the Black Rose did fine. Like, their values aren't going to be crazy, but they were there. Held up Bretonnia's cav for a long time. Empire Knights did okay. Halberdiers, pretty good value. Spearmen didn't get much value, but they just pressured the archers back. It was a very, very close game, though. For Kostak, Fey Enchantress did fine. Knights of the Realm did okay. Knights Errant got mostly clapped. Double Paladins, fine. Archers did really well. And then the Men-at-Arms just tried to keep the archers safe. GG, lads. GG. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.